Wildfires are an annual phenomenon in the taiga, especially in July and August, when lightning strikes the dry forest, igniting fierce blazes. In 2019, nearly 2 million hectares of taiga forest in Siberia were scorched, releasing carbon dioxide emissions equivalent to Sweden's total annual output. 2 years later, in 2021, wildfires struck again, burning over 161,300 square kilometers, sending smoke drifting as far as the Arctic, something never recorded before. The wrath of fire doesn't just destroy vegetation, it shifts the ecological balance of the taiga. The Siberian taiga loses its hunting grounds, forcing it to travel farther and face intense competition from other predators. The moose, the largest herbivore of the taiga, flees the burning forests in search of safer lands. But along these migration paths, they become prime targets for the Mongolian wolf, opportunistic hunters that exploit the open terrain to ambush their prey. A single wildfire can consume millions of hectares of taiga, but who truly benefits from the flames? The seeds of the Scots pine can only sprout after exposure to fire, a phenomenon much like the trials in human life. Christian faith teaches that hardship is not meant to destroy, but to purify, making one stronger. Your faith, more precious than gold, which perishes though refined by fire, may result in praise, glory, and honor. But the taiga is no peaceful forest. It is a battlefield of nature where every creature must fight to survive. And when winter arrives, this natural selection only grows harsher. The weak will fall, the strong will reign. The taiga forest is one of the vastest wildernesses ever created by the divine creator. It stretches across Alaska, Canada, Scandinavia, Russia, and the immense lands of Siberia, covering over 17 million square kilometers. Of this, 12 million square kilometers lie within Russia, making it larger than the combined total area of China and India. This is the largest forest in the world, surpassing even the Amazon rainforest in sheer scale. Here, beneath the canopy of the taiga forest, the ground holds the remnants of ancient eras, where time has left its mark on every rock and layer of sediment. 10,000 years ago, the last ice age came to an end. The massive ice sheets that once covered much of the Northern Hemisphere began to melt, revealing hills crushed under the weight of glaciers and vast, barren plains of glacial till stretching to the horizon. The first conifers began to take root. Siberian larch, Norway spruce, black spruce, and Scots pine anchored themselves into the cold earth, gripping onto the remnants of a world that had vanished with the ice. Much of the taiga rests upon the Precambrian Shield, one of the oldest geological formations on the planet, dating back over 4 billion years. It is a relic of Earth's earliest days. The rocks here are ancient, having withstood countless cycles of tectonic activity shaped by wind and water over billions of years. The Precambrian Shield extends from Canada to Greenland, through northern Europe and deep into Siberia, forming the very foundation of this vast forest. The ground here is hard, rich in iron and aluminum, yet poor in nutrients. As glaciers melted, rain and snow washed over the rocky terrain, stripping away essential minerals. What remained was a thin, pale, porous soil known as podzol. Here, around 20,000 years ago, the first tribes appeared in this vast land. They were not settlers, but nomadic hunter-gatherers, following the great herds of mammoths, reindeer, and bison. The indigenous tribes of the Taiga developed their own beliefs, yet they all shared one fundamental truth. Nature is the soul of the world. Every river, every mountain, every creature carried its own spirit. The practice of shamanism emerged early, spreading across Siberia, Northern Europe, and North America. As the glaciers slowly melted, the taiga forest began to take shape. The tribes no longer wandered endlessly. They built hunting camps near rivers where salmon would return upstream each spring. The taiga forest is the largest terrestrial biome, with an ecosystem entirely dependent on its unique environmental conditions. This region is defined by a subarctic continental climate. Winters last 6 to 9 months, with snow covering the landscape for most of the year. Summers are brief, lasting only 2 to 3 months, with temperatures ranging between 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. The extreme temperature contrast between seasons shapes the entire ecosystem, limiting the number of species that can survive here. But fewer species does not mean less complexity. The wildlife of the taiga has adapted to some of the harshest conditions on Earth. Which predator do you think rules the taiga? Drop your thoughts in the comments before we begin our journey into the realm of the most powerful hunters of this wilderness. Starting from the taiga forests that blanket northern Europe and Asia, the Palearctic boreal forests make up the largest portion of this vast ecosystem. The flora of the Palearctic boreal forests is dominated by coniferous trees, perfectly adapted to the harsh climate. Norway spruce, Scots pine, and Siberian larch are the most familiar names, forming a dense forest canopy. Their needle-like leaves minimize water loss and are specially structured to allow snow to slide off easily, preventing branches from breaking under the weight of winter storms. The limited diversity of plant life shapes the entire food chain of this ecosystem. The Palearctic boreal forests host fewer animal species compared to tropical or temperate forests. However, the creatures that do inhabit this land are masters of cold weather survival. Here, in the East Siberian taiga, a vast land stretching from the Lena River to the Kolyma River, lies one of the harshest wildernesses on Earth. The Dahurian larch, the dominant conifer of this region, has a unique adaptation that sets it apart from its relatives in other taiga forests. Unlike Siberian spruce or Scots pine, which retain their needles through winter, the Dahurian larch sheds all its foliage when the extreme cold arrives. This adaptation reduces the weight of heavy snow, preventing branches from breaking and conserving energy for its revival in spring. On the high rocky slopes, the snow sheep, also known as the Siberian bighorn sheep, navigates treacherous cliffs with remarkable agility. Beneath thick layers of ice, the Siberian salamander survives by freezing solid, thanks to its natural production of cryoprotectants. When the ice melts in spring, it returns to life, a phenomenon reminiscent of the resurrection of Jesus Christ after 3 days on the cross. At this time, the Kolyma River, frozen for most of the year, begins to thaw, transforming into one of the lifelines of the taiga. Temporary wetlands emerge, providing vital breeding grounds for insects, fish, and migrating birds. For the Evenki people, an indigenous group of the East Siberian Taiga, the reindeer is more than just a source of sustenance. It is a sacred symbol. They hunt reindeer for meat, hide, and bone, but always perform rituals to show reverence to the forest. The shamans of the Evenki, spiritual guides of the people, use drums made from reindeer hide to conduct ceremonies that connect humans with the spirits of nature. Before every major hunt, they pray and ask the forest for permission to take the life of an animal, a ritual that reflects their deep respect for the cycle of life. Over 2 million years ago, the ancestors of the reindeer appeared in the Arctic regions of the Earth, evolving to withstand some of the coldest and harshest environments on the planet. Their double-layered fur provides exceptional insulation, with an outer layer of hollow hairs that trap heat and minimize heat loss. They are the only species in the Cervidae family where both males and females grow antlers, an adaptation that helps them dig through snow to find food during winter. Their wide, flexible hooves, which can spread out or contract, allow them to navigate across snow and frozen wetlands, a crucial advantage for their long migrations spanning thousands of kilometers each year. Each year, reindeer herds migrate thousands of kilometers in search of mosses and lichens, their primary food source during winter. Their eyes have evolved to perceive ultraviolet light, enabling them to detect living plants beneath the snow. During the brutal winter months, they use their hooves to dig through the snow, uncovering nutrient-rich reindeer lichen to sustain them. As spring arrives, they move northward to escape the biting swarms of mosquitoes and insects, while also taking advantage of the abundant food sources found in the grasslands and flooded plains. In the East Siberian taiga, visitors can embark on journeys to track the Siberian taiga in its natural habitat. These eco-tours offer opportunities to observe taiga tracks in the snow and learn about their hunting behavior. In this land, the weak do not survive, but the Siberian taiga has conquered this realm through perseverance, strength, and masterful hunting tactics. Millions of years ago, the ancestors of the Siberian taiga roamed the warmer forests of Asia. Over thousands of years of evolution, the strongest individuals adapted to the freezing environment, developing thicker fur, a fat layer up to 5 centimeters beneath the skin for insulation, and a massive body, reaching up to 300 kilograms to store energy. They became the largest tigers in the world, measuring up to 3.3 meters in length, and emerged as the apex predators of the taiga. In the spiritual beliefs of the Evenki people, the Siberian taiga is a forest deity. The Evenki believe that killing a taiga violates the laws of nature, angering the spirit of the forest. They regard the taiga as a guardian spirit, a being that coexists with humans, and its presence in the forest is seen as a sign of a balanced ecosystem. Today, the Siberian taiga's range is mostly confined to the Russian Far East, particularly in Primorsky Krai and Khabarovsk Krai, where coniferous and mixed forests provide both shelter and food. Throughout the 20th century, excessive hunting and deforestation pushed the species to the brink of extinction. A Siberian tiger can bring down prey 3 times its own weight. It moves silently, each step calculated on the soft snow. It waits for the perfect moment, closing the distance before launching forward at speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour in short bursts. With a powerful pounce, it grips its prey with sharp claws, then delivers a fatal bite to the neck to end the hunt swiftly. But only 10% of its hunts are successful. If it fails, the tiger must travel even farther in search of another opportunity. As the top predator, the Siberian tiger plays a crucial role in controlling the population of hoofed animals, maintaining the balance of the forest ecosystem. Yet this majestic predator itself is under threat. Habitat loss, due to logging and urban expansion, has drastically reduced its territory. Poaching for tiger pelts and bones remains a problem, despite strict protection laws. To protect the Siberian tiger, Russia has established multiple nature reserves and national parks, such as the Sikhote-Alin Biosphere Reserve. Camera traps and GPS tracking programs help scientists monitor tiger movements and health. Additionally, ecotourism initiatives are playing a growing role in conservation efforts. In a quiet corner of the taiga forest, a silent figure glides across the sky, its broad wings outstretched, moving almost without a sound. In summer, the snowy owl nests on the Arctic tundra, laying its eggs directly on bare ground, among frozen grasslands and snowy hills. But as winter arrives, food becomes scarce, forcing these owls to migrate southward to the East Siberian taiga and other cold forests, where prey is more abundant. This journey can span thousands of kilometers, a cyclical survival expedition repeated every year. The survival of the snowy owl is tightly linked to fluctuations in the lemming population, a small rodent that plays a crucial role in the Arctic food chain. When lemming numbers surge, the snowy owl can lay more eggs, with clutches reaching up to 11 eggs in a single breeding season. But when lemming populations decline, the owl is forced to expand its hunting range, targeting larger prey like the Arctic hare or even smaller birds. In the snow-covered forests of the East Siberian taiga, the snowy owl competes with another formidable predator, the great gray owl. Although they share the same hunting grounds, these two owls employ different hunting strategies. The great gray owl, with its broad wings and extraordinary hearing, can detect prey even when it moves beneath thick layers of snow. The snowy owl, in contrast, relies on its sharp vision, spotting prey in open spaces between trees or across vast snowfields. Unlike many other owl species that hunt under the cover of darkness, the snowy owl is diurnal, taking advantage of the few precious daylight hours in the Arctic winter. It prefers open landscapes, perching on fallen logs or snow-covered mounds, scanning the terrain from a distance. Once it spots a target, it dives at incredible speed, its wings making almost no sound, and its razor-sharp talons seize the prey before it even senses the owl's presence. As winter fades, the snowy owl will once again leave the East Siberian taiga, returning to the northern tundra, where its life cycle continues. But will future winters still welcome this magnificent owl, or will climate change slowly erase its footprints from the snow-covered plains? Leaving the East Siberian taiga, we continue our journey into the vast expanse of the West Siberian taiga. Stretching between the Ural Mountains and the Yenisei River, This is one of the most pristine and mysterious regions of the Palearctic boreal forests. Unlike the rugged mountainous landscapes of the East Siberian taiga, this land is flat, covered by millions of hectares of wetlands and floodplains. For thousands of years, meltwater from large rivers and seasonal snowmelt has shaped these low-lying lands, transforming them into one of the largest wetland ecosystems in the world. The soft ground, layered with moss and lichens, can sometimes be so deep that it swallows entire ancient trees. The forests here are dominated by Siberian pine and Siberian spruce, coniferous trees highly adapted to extreme cold. They grow slowly but resiliently, forming dense green canopies over the vast wilderness. Siberian pines rise tall, with thick foliage that helps them endure the long, brutal winters. The Siberian spruce, with its straight trunk and drooping branches, allows snow to slide off easily, preventing limb breakage during heavy storms. Beneath the canopy, thick layers of sphagnum moss, some reaching meters deep, act like a giant sponge, retaining water and providing moisture to the forest even during the driest months. This unique ecosystem is home to many creatures that have mastered survival in these extreme conditions. The sable, a small marten with silky fur, hides among dense undergrowth, using the swampy terrain to evade predators. One of the few reptiles able to survive in the taiga, the common garter snake, coils itself on rotting logs, waiting for the faint warmth of the sun to revive it after the icy winter months. The endless wetlands form a labyrinth of narrow waterways where people can paddle wooden boats through ancient pine forests, listening to the untouched sounds of nature. In summer, as the snow melts, water floods the forest, turning wooden boats into the primary mode of travel. Visitors can follow biologists to study the unique wetland ecosystem, witness migratory birds gathering, or simply embrace the absolute silence of the taiga wilderness. Along the frozen rivers, a sleek figure glides across the water, its keen eyes flashing beneath the ice, hunting for prey. The Eurasian otter, a master of survival, continues its hunt undeterred by the brutal Siberian winter. Unlike many terrestrial mammals, it possesses a dense, two-layered coat, preventing cold water from reaching the skin, keeping its body warm even while swimming beneath frozen surfaces. Its body length ranges from 57 to 95 centimeters, with a long, muscular tail making up nearly half its total length, aiding in swift and agile movement underwater. The Eurasian otter's range extends from Western Europe to East Asia, from the rivers of Ireland to the icy taiga of Siberia. In the West Siberian taiga, it thrives in freshwater environments, though it can also adapt to coastal regions if food is abundant. Fish make up the majority of its diet, but it also preys on amphibians, crustaceans, and occasionally even water birds. When the rivers freeze over in winter, instead of hibernating or migrating, it searches for small cracks in the ice to dive through. Its waterproof fur and powerful webbed feet allow it to swiftly navigate the freezing waters, weaving through rocks and ice to ambush unsuspecting grayling or perch. By regulating fish populations and other aquatic species, it plays a vital role in maintaining the balance of river ecosystems. Its presence is also a key indicator of water quality, as it is highly sensitive to pollution. As winter sweeps across the West Siberian taiga, covering the forests of Siberian pine and black spruce in a thick blanket of snow, the moose embarks on its seasonal migration. The largest deer species in the world, it possesses a massive body and long legs, allowing it to traverse deep snow and flooded wetlands with ease. Its thick, two-layered fur provides excellent thermal insulation, keeping its body temperature stable even when the air plunges below -50 degrees Celsius. The moose's range extends from North America to Europe and Asia, with the largest populations concentrated in Russia, Canada, and Scandinavia. Along major rivers like the Yenisei and Ob, which cut through vast forests, an estimated 600,000 moose roam. They move seasonally, seeking aquatic vegetation in the summer months, then returning to denser forests in winter to shelter from harsh winds and forage for food. Unlike many deer species that rely primarily on grass, the moose's diet consists of leaves, bark, and aquatic plants. In summer, it wades into lakes and marshes, using its long snout to pull up water lilies and pondweed from the lakebed. In winter, when snow buries the ground, it switches to chewing birch and willow bark, a fiber-rich but low-energy food source. One of the moose's most vital survival skills is its swimming ability. When pursued, it can dive into rivers and swim across frigid waters to escape predators. However, in winter, when rivers freeze completely, this advantage disappears. Moose trapped on frozen waterways become easy prey for wolves and brown bears. Within the West Siberian taiga ecosystem, the moose plays a crucial role in maintaining ecological balance. It helps control shrub growth, creating open spaces for other plants to thrive. Old or weakened moose, or those hunted by wolves, provide an essential food source for scavengers like wolverines and ravens. The presence of moose also ensures that top predators like the Siberian tiger can sustain stable populations in the taiga wilderness. In contrast to the moose, the roe deer is the smallest deer species in the boreal forest ecosystem. Standing only 75 centimeters tall at the shoulder and weighing between 15 to 35 kilograms, its light, agile body allows it to navigate dense forests and uneven terrain with ease. Its coat changes seasonally, turning reddish-brown in summer and pale gray in winter, providing perfect camouflage against the surrounding vegetation. As winter arrives and deep snow covers the ground, roe deer must migrate southward or descend to lower elevations in search of food. This journey can span hundreds of kilometers, making them vulnerable prey as their constant movement increases the risk of being detected by predators. The Mongolian wolf is the greatest threat to roe deer in the West Siberian taiga. During the winter months, when many other animals hibernate or retreat to safer habitats, wolf packs relentlessly track the footsteps of roe deer, taking advantage of deep snow, which slows the deer's movements and leaves them exposed to attack. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, the ancestors of the Mongolian wolf adapted to life in the northern forests and grasslands. A subspecies of the gray wolf, this medium-sized predator, has a body length of about 110 centimeters, with a thick, pale gray coat to retain heat during the harsh winter months. The Mongolian wolf's range spans Mongolia, China, and the Ussuri region of Russia. It inhabits a diverse range of ecosystems, from the taiga forests and open grasslands to high-altitude mountains and cold deserts. In the West Siberian taiga, where endless coniferous forests stretch for thousands of kilometers, these wolf packs play a key role in the food chain, regulating populations of hoofed animals such as moose and roe deer. A wolf pack can consist of 6 to 12 individuals, each fulfilling a specific role within the pack's social structure. They are cooperative hunters, using the strength of the pack to bring down prey much larger than themselves. When hunting moose, they patiently track their target, forcing it to keep moving for hours or even days, gradually wearing it down. At the right moment, the strongest wolves launch the attack, biting at the hind legs or throat to bring the exhausted moose to the ground, a hunting strategy perfected through thousands of years of evolution. For roe deer, the hunt is much faster. With their lightweight bodies and long legs, roe deer can reach speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour. But speed alone is not always enough to ensure survival. Wolves use the dense forest terrain to corner their prey, driving them into dead-end paths. Once the roe deer tires and slows down, the leading wolves make their move, seizing the opportunity to end the chase. Which predator do you think has the most intelligent hunting strategy in the taiga? Siberian tiger, Amur leopard, or Mongolian wolf? Or perhaps another name that you will discover in the next part of this video. In Norway, Sweden, Finland, and the western part of Russia, the Scandinavian and Russian taiga stretches on, forming a vast ecological expanse. This region lacks rugged mountain ranges or flooded plains, yet it possesses a quiet, serene beauty. Endless coniferous forests disappear into a thin veil of mist, while slow-moving rivers flow through frost-covered meadows. The flora here consists mostly of cold-resistant coniferous trees. Scots pine, with its tall, slender trunk and sparse foliage, stands resilient against harsh winds and snow. Norway spruce blankets the hillsides, its drooping branches allowing snow to slide off easily, preventing breakage. Siberian fir, with its thick bark and resin-rich sap, shields itself from the biting winter cold. These snow-covered forests are the perfect setting for cross-country skiing adventures, where narrow forest trails lead visitors gliding through the pristine landscape. During winter months, as lakes freeze over completely, ice fishing enthusiasts drill small holes into the ice, dropping their lines into the dark waters below, waiting for the slight tug of a fish. Riding a sled pulled by reindeer, crossing the vast snowy plains, feeling the whisper of the wind and hearing the soft jingle of bells tied to the reindeers' necks, just as their ancestors traveled centuries ago. In cozy wooden lodges, visitors can enjoy grilled reindeer meat, a traditional Sami dish, or sip on a warm cup of glögg, a spiced herbal wine that melts away the winter chill. A silent space, where a pair of piercing golden eyes observe every movement. The Eurasian lynx is the largest wild cat in Europe, with a muscular body measuring 76 to 106 centimeters in length, a short tail of only 11 to 24 centimeters, and a weight of up to 30 kilograms. It is a formidable predator. The ancestors of the Eurasian lynx originated from the big cat family. However, through evolution, this species developed into an independent hunter, smaller than tigers or leopards, yet possessing incredible strength and agility. Its thick fur helps regulate body temperature in the freezing environment, with an outer waterproof layer and an insulating undercoat that provides absolute warmth. Silent and patient, the Eurasian lynx hunts using a stalking strategy. When it detects prey, it crouches low in the leaf litter, waiting for the perfect moment. With its long legs and wide paws, it moves lightly across the snow without making a sound. At the right moment, a lightning-fast pounce, combined with razor-sharp claws, is enough to bring down a roe deer, nearly twice its weight. As autumn sweeps across the Scandinavian and Russian taiga, it paints the Norway spruce and Scots pine in shades of gold, while the forest's inhabitants busily prepare for the approaching winter. Amid the dense thickets, the brown bear enters the most crucial phase of its year, building up fat reserves for the long hibernation ahead. The Scandinavian and Russian taiga is home to one of the world's largest populations of brown bears. With its vast forested expanse, this habitat provides ample food throughout summer and autumn. Before winter arrives, a brown bear may consume up to 40 kilograms of food per day, accumulating enough fat to sustain itself during hibernation, which can last between 5 to 7 months. Nuts, berries, roots, insects, salmon, and even carrion all serve as vital sources of nutrition. Being an omnivore, the brown bear is not a specialized predator, but will seize the opportunity to take down large prey when the chance arises. It is one of the largest terrestrial mammals, with a body length ranging from 1.4 to 2.8 meters, and a weight of up to 600 kilograms for fully grown males. Young moose, roe deer, and even wild boar sometimes fall victim to its sheer strength. With the ability to run at speeds of up to 50 kilometers per hour, the brown bear can chase prey over short distances. However, it relies more on strength and ambush tactics rather than sheer speed. When it discovers a large carcass, it will not leave it behind, fiercely defending its food from scavengers like wolves and wolverines. Winter brings the greatest challenge for the brown bear. As temperatures plummet and food becomes scarce, it must rely entirely on its fat reserves to survive. During hibernation, its heart rate slows from 40 to 50 beats per minute to just 8 to 12 beats per minute. Its body temperature drops slightly, but never too low, preventing hypothermia. Throughout this period, the brown bear does not eat, drink, or excrete waste. Its body gradually metabolizes stored fat while recycling water from waste products to sustain itself through the long, frigid months. Leaving the Palearctic boreal forests of Asia and Russia, the taiga stretches endlessly from Alaska through Canada, forming one of North America's largest and most vital ecosystems. Here, the taiga is a realm of black spruce, white spruce, and balsam fir, standing motionless beneath a thick blanket of snow. These trees grow slowly, yet persistently, anchoring their roots deep into the soil to absorb the scarce minerals available. Beneath them, a carpet of moss and lichen covers the forest floor, retaining moisture and providing a crucial food source for small animals. Here, the Alaskan taiga stretches from Alaska to the northern reaches of Yukon and the Northwest Territories, forming a vast wilderness where winter reigns supreme. The climate here is harsh year-round, with winters lasting up to 8 months, and temperatures regularly dropping below -30 degrees Celsius. Despite these extreme conditions, the Inuit and Aleut have long adapted to this land, using natural resources to sustain their families, craft tools, and build a unique cultural heritage. Small riverside villages serve as hubs for hunting, fishing, and creating artwork from whalebone, walrus ivory, and driftwood. Within snow igloos and kargi, they share stories of their ancestors, legendary hunts, and the belief that everything in nature has a soul. For those who venture into the Alaskan taiga, unforgettable adventures await. Mountain trekking across the snow-covered peaks of the Brooks Range reveals sweeping views of the endless taiga forests. Ice fishing, a tradition deeply rooted in the region, offers visitors a first-hand glimpse into indigenous life as they patiently drill holes into frozen lakes, waiting for the telltale tug of a fish beneath the icy waters. But perhaps the most awe-inspiring experience is observing bears in the wild. Visitors can follow biologists to witness grizzly bears wading through rivers, hunting for salmon amidst the untamed landscapes of Alaska's wilderness. The Alaskan taiga is a land of predators and migrating animals. As winter ends, the caribou resumes its epic migration, traveling from Alaska to Yukon. This journey can cover up to 5,000 kilometers per year, making the caribou one of the longest migrating mammals in the world. Beneath the forest canopy, where the winds are less severe, they use their hooves to dig through thick snow, uncovering the vegetation beneath. Their wide, hollow hooves not only distribute their weight, preventing them from sinking into the snow, but also act as natural shovels, breaking through the ice to reach lichen, one of their primary winter food sources. The ability to digest this tough, slow decomposing plant is one of the key evolutionary traits that has allowed the caribou to survive in such extreme conditions. Meanwhile, fresh tracks appear on the thin snow, forming a trail stretching northward. The elk continues its hundreds of kilometers-long migration, searching for food sources. As one of the largest deer species in the world, the elk originated from Asia and North America. Its ancestors once roamed grasslands and forests from the Atlantic to the Pacific, but their range shrunk due to hunting and human expansion. Elk disappeared from Alaska, but in 1929 they were reintroduced to the region and quickly adapted to the cold taiga forests. Migration is the elk's most vital survival instinct. As snow deepens and food becomes scarce, they leave the northern forests, moving southward or descending to lower elevations, where the snow is thinner and vegetation remains accessible. Along the way, experienced elk lead the herd, searching for areas with willow, trembling aspen, and dried grass to replenish their energy. As a primary herbivore of the region, the elk plays a crucial role in maintaining ecosystem balance. By consuming a diverse range of vegetation, from grasses and mosses to bark and young leaves, they help cycle nutrients through the soil and create openings for other plant species to grow. Like caribou and elk, deep in the wild landscapes of the Alaskan taiga, herds of wood bison, each weighing up to 900 kilograms, search for food in the harsh winter months. As they move, they carve pathways through the forest, opening up trails that many other species use. Their snow-digging behavior also exposes hidden vegetation beneath the ice, creating opportunities for smaller animals to access food. Centuries ago, wood bison roamed vast territories from Alaska to Canada, but overhunting and habitat loss drove them to the brink of extinction by the early 20th century. Thanks to reintroduction and conservation efforts, their population has now rebounded, with over 11,000 individuals thriving today. On the snow-covered peaks of the Alaskan taiga, a silhouette glides through the sky, its broad wings outstretched, with dark brown feathers shimmering with golden hues under the faint winter sunlight. This is the golden eagle, the undisputed ruler of the skies. The Cree people believe that the golden eagle is not just a messenger between the heavens and the earth, but also a symbol of protection. When a warrior or hunter sees a golden eagle soaring above, it is considered a sign of good fortune and success. With a wingspan of nearly 2.3 meters, the golden eagle is one of North America's largest birds of prey. Its powerful body, keen eyesight, and impressive speed make it a formidable hunter. From high above, it scans open forests, snowy plains, and deep ravines, searching for even the slightest movement below. From over 1,000 meters in the air, the golden eagle can spot prey moving among the low shrubs. Its wings tuck in, its body tilts forward, and it dives at speeds of up to 240 kilometers per hour. With razor-sharp, curved talons aimed straight at its target, the sheer force of its strike leaves the prey with no chance of escape. More than just a skyborne predator, the golden eagle is a sacred cultural symbol for many indigenous communities of North America, especially the Haida, Tlingit, Cree, Lakota, and Blackfoot nations. The Haida and Tlingit view the golden eagle as a spiritual being that connects humans to the divine world. Its image is frequently depicted in carvings, totem poles, and paintings, symbolizing strength, courage, and wisdom. For the Lakota and Blackfoot, the golden eagle represents Wakantanka, the sacred power of the universe. Its feathers are used in spiritual ceremonies, regarded as gifts from the Great Spirit, given only to brave warriors or individuals who have contributed greatly to their community. During the Lakota Sundance ceremonies, golden eagle feathers are affixed to shields and ceremonial attire, serving as a bridge between humans and the divine. The taiga forests continue their endless stretch, reaching the pristine wilderness of Ontario and Quebec. Here, the central Canadian taiga forms one of the most vital ecological regions within the Nearctic boreal forests. Jack pine rises from dry, sandy soils, its roots gripping tightly to the thin earth beneath. Black spruce grows along the wetlands, its sharp, spire-like canopy piercing the cold gray sky. Balsam fir thrives in moist areas, forming dense groves interwoven between streams and marshlands. These untouched forests offer an opportunity for hiking adventures where narrow trails weave through the jack pine canopy, leading travelers to crystal-clear lakes that reflect the vast sky above. Winter brings a different kind of experience. As snow blankets the ground, cross-country skiing becomes an exhilarating way to explore this majestic landscape. For those who seek a challenge, ice fishing offers a true test of patience, drilling a small hole into a frozen lake, then waiting in absolute stillness amid the snow-covered wilderness, hoping for a sign of movement beneath the dark waters. Campfires flicker against the long winter nights, as elders share tales of legendary bear hunts. For those who want a deeper understanding of life in the taiga, immersive wilderness experiences await. Here, you can learn to build snow shelters, start fires with dry wood, track animals through the snow, and truly embrace the slow rhythm of the taiga. Most remarkable of all, the central Canadian taiga is home to the Canada lynx. In the United States, it is listed as a threatened species under the Endangered Species Act. Evolving from a common ancestor with the Eurasian lynx, the Canada lynx has perfectly adapted to the frigid landscapes of North America. Its thick silver-gray fur, triangular ears with black tufts, and highly sensitive whiskers allow it to detect even the slightest vibrations in the air. With long legs and wide fur-covered paws, it moves across deep snow effortlessly, functioning like a natural pair of snowshoes, allowing it to navigate terrain where other predators struggle and sink. The Canada lynx's survival is tightly linked to the snowshoe hare, its most crucial prey. When hare populations surge, the lynx reproduces more, with higher survival rates for young kittens. When hares decline due to overcompetition and food scarcity, the lynx population also plummets. This cycle lasts around 10 years, with both species fluctuating in numbers following the natural rhythms of the taiga ecosystem. Despite this dependency, the Canada lynx is not a one-dimensional hunter. When its primary prey is scarce, it expands its diet, hunting smaller rodents like red squirrels, grouse, and occasionally even young white-tailed deer if the opportunity arises. Its greatest weapons are patience and precision. Moving silently through the trees, every step is calculated to perfection. When its icy blue eyes detect the movement of a snowshoe hare, it lowers its body, pressing against the snow-covered ground. Step by step, it closes the distance. Before the unsuspecting prey realizes its doom, the lynx launches forward, its hind legs propelling it in an instant. Razor-sharp claws sink into its prey, ending the chase without a sound. As winter grips the landscape, freezing most of the river's surfaces and leaving only narrow channels of open water, the North American river otter silently glides through the icy currents. It searches for areas with flowing water where the ice is thinner, or finds small openings in the ice that allow it to access the world beneath. Its thick, waterproof fur provides insulation, keeping it warm and agile, even in sub-zero temperatures. One of the few semi-aquatic predators of the Nearctic boreal forests, the river otter is perfectly adapted to life in the water. With webbed feet and a long, muscular tail, it can swim at speeds of up to 11 kilometers per hour, diving for up to 8 minutes as it chases prey beneath the ice. Using its sharp claws, it can widen cracks in the ice, creating entry points that allow it to continue hunting even in the harshest conditions. The river otter's primary diet consists of fish. Species like brook trout, northern pike, and whitefish are among its favorite targets. By opening holes in the ice, the otter inadvertently benefits other animals, creating access points for species like beavers and minks, allowing them to forage for food during the brutal winter months. The landscape begins to shift as the dense taiga forests fade into the distance, giving way to the vast wetlands and open grasslands of the Hudson Plains taiga. This is a transition zone between the boreal forest and the tundra, a low-lying expanse surrounding Hudson Bay, where the horizon stretches endlessly, shaped by a cold climate and long winters. This region is one of the largest continuous wetland ecosystems in the world, covering approximately 369,000 square kilometers, nearly 25% of Ontario, and extending deep into Quebec. The terrain is flat, with an average elevation of only 120 meters above sea level. In summer, meltwater floods the lowlands, creating a network of rivers, lakes, and marshes, transforming the area into a critical stopover for migratory birds. In winter, temperatures drop to -19 degrees Celsius to -16 degrees Celsius, turning the entire landscape into a frozen expanse for months. Black spruce forests appear in small clusters, scattered across the wetlands. These slender trees rise from the boggy soil, adapted to nutrient-poor ground and the constant freeze-thaw cycle. Tamarack, the only deciduous conifer in the taiga, turns golden in autumn before shedding its needles entirely, preparing itself for the harsh winter ahead. Between these scattered forests, vast wetlands covered in sedge, willow, and alder create a diverse but sparse vegetation compared to the southern boreal forests. The Inuit culture remains deeply woven into the land, offering community-based tourism experiences where visitors can learn to build kayaks, preserve food using traditional methods, and listen to ancient stories under the soft glow of the northern sun. In winter, ice fishing and net pulling beneath frozen rivers offer an immersive look into how humans have harmonized with this land for generations. Those who venture into the Hudson Plains Taiga are met with a sense of absolute wilderness. No major roads, no bustling towns, only endless frozen plains and scattered forests governed by the ever-changing seasons. Visitors can embark on wildlife watching expeditions, tracking polar bears along the Hudson Bay coast, or take on canoe journeys through the expansive wetlands. Wildlife here faces some of the most extreme environmental challenges. Flocks of Canada geese soar overhead in perfect V formations, descending upon the wetlands to rest during their thousands-kilometer-long migrations. Alongside them, numerous waterbird species gather in the Hudson Plains Taiga, making it one of North America's most vital migratory bird stopovers. Perched on a bare branch, a motionless figure stands against the darkness, its piercing yellow eyes cutting through the night, observing the slightest movement below. The great horned owl waits silently, preparing for the perfect moment to strike. With a body length of up to 63 centimeters and a wingspan reaching 1.5 meters, the great horned owl is the largest owl in North America. Yet what makes it a formidable predator is not its size, but its absolute silence. Every movement it makes is completely soundless. Its soft, fringed feathers eliminate noise as its wings beat through the air, allowing it to glide undetected, without a single vibration disturbing the stillness. Its asymmetrical ears, with one positioned higher than the other, enable it to pinpoint prey sounds with extreme precision, even when buried beneath layers of snow. A faint rustle among dry branches is all it needs to lock onto its target with pinpoint accuracy. Its wings spread wide, its body free falls for a split second, and then talons strike. A prey, caught off guard, never has a chance to react. With a grip, strength reaching 300 pounds per square inch, its razor-sharp talons pierce through thick fur, securing its prey before it can even attempt to resist. A lightning-fast dive, an unrelenting grip, and the cycle of survival continues. Winter sweeps across the Hudson Plains Taiga, bringing biting winds from the Arctic Ocean. Sea ice begins to form, stretching from Hudson Bay to the frozen rivers along the taiga forests. At the edge of this frozen world, a massive white figure moves slowly along the icy coastline. Polar bear, the largest predator of the Arctic, is entering its most crucial season of the year, hunting season. Do you know why polar bears don't feel cold, even in temperatures as low as -40 degrees Celsius? Evolving from a common ancestor with the brown bear around 500,000 years ago, the polar bear has perfectly adapted to the freezing Arctic. Its thick white fur, with 2 layers of insulation, allows it to blend seamlessly into the ice and snow. Beneath its skin, a layer of fat up to 10 centimeters thick provides exceptional warmth, even in extreme sub-zero temperatures. Its broad, fur-covered paws act like natural paddles, allowing it to swim vast distances and walk effortlessly across thin ice. It is one of the few mammals capable of moving efficiently both on ice and in water. The floating ice sheets near Churchill, Manitoba, nicknamed the polar bear capital of the world, become a gathering point for polar bears in winter. As the sea freezes, they use it as a platform to hunt their preferred prey, ringed seals. With sharp eyesight and an extraordinary sense of smell, a polar bear can detect a ringed seal breathing under the ice from over 1 kilometer away. When it finds a breathing hole, it waits in absolute silence, sometimes for hours. When the seal surfaces for air, a swift, precise strike with its razor-sharp claws ensures a successful hunt. After catching a ringed seal, the polar bear often eats only the fat and skin, which are rich in energy-dense nutrients. It leaves the meat behind, allowing other Arctic species such as Arctic foxes and ravens to feed off the remains. In this way, the polar bear indirectly sustains the entire Arctic ecosystem. But luck is never guaranteed. If sea ice melts too soon, hunting becomes increasingly difficult. Without enough ringed seals, the polar bear is forced to seek alternative food sources on land. Some individuals venture deep into coastal taiga forests, scavenging for food or even hunting Canada geese and snowy owls. However, the boreal forest ecosystem cannot provide the necessary caloric intake for such a massive predator. Unlike the abundant fatty prey of the Arctic, the scarce food of the taiga presents a serious survival challenge. The polar bear is the largest land-dwelling carnivore in the world. Adult males weigh between 400 and 700 kilograms, while females are smaller, ranging from 150 to 300 kilograms. Despite its massive size, the polar bear is an exceptional swimmer, capable of traveling over 100 kilometers without rest. Its long migrations help it track prey even as the ice disappears, but this demands more energy and increases the risk of starvation. However, climate change is pushing the polar bear into an unprecedented crisis. According to a 2024 WWF report, Arctic sea ice has declined by over 40% compared to the 20th century average. If this trend continues, polar bear populations are expected to drop by 1/3 by 2050. Time has tested the taiga for millennia. It has endured ice ages, climate shifts, and massive glacial floods. Yet now, it faces a greater challenge than ever before. As global temperatures rise, as winters grow shorter, as permafrost thaws, will this ancient foundation be strong enough to keep the taiga standing, or in the end, will it too be washed away, like the minerals that have vanished over billions of years? To protect the largest wilderness on Earth, various conservation efforts are being implemented with significant success. In Canada, the conservation of wood bison and caribou has led to a notable increase in their populations, with an average growth rate of 5 to 7% per year in protected areas. Sustainable financial models are being actively applied, ranging from debt-for-nature swaps to wildlife conservation bonds. Payments for ecosystem services provide local communities with income opportunities through the maintenance and protection of natural reserves. In Russia, the Siberian Taiga reintroduction program has helped increase their numbers to over 550 individuals by 2024, a positive milestone after decades of decline. Reforestation projects using Scots pine and Norway spruce, replacing monoculture acacia forests, are improving habitats for various wildlife species. Efforts to protect coastal mangrove forests in the northern taiga are also helping maintain natural carbon sinks, reducing greenhouse effects. As winter arrives, conservation efforts continue, offering a new opportunity for the taiga ecosystem, which remains under pressure from human activities and climate change. However, protecting the taiga is not just the responsibility of conservation organizations. It requires a collective effort from the global community. Simple actions like supporting conservation funds, reducing the use of illegally sourced wood products, participating in responsible ecotourism, or spreading awareness about climate change can have a tremendous impact. Every choice made today determines the future of the taiga and life on Earth. If you had the chance to explore the taiga, which species would you track? Feel free to share your knowledge and experiences in the comment section below. Your insights could serve as inspiration and motivation for wildlife conservation efforts, ensuring the preservation of ecosystems for future generations. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to join us in our next extraordinary adventures. Or you can continue following the survival journey of wildlife in wild Siberia, survival secrets of the frozen wilderness, or harsh Alaska, the survival struggle of wildlife.